If you're like us, you've been waiting for a new Titanic movie ever since Leo and Kate Winslet. Oh my God. The Asylum has decided to come out with a mockbuster Titanic 2. 11 years ago. But it's a movie that's based on a brand new version of the Titanic, 100 years later, with the same boat and the same fate.
Tell them to stay away from the icebergs.
The main characters we're going to look into, we have Amy, who seems to be either the doctor or the nurse on board. We have her friend Kelly. We've got Hayden, who owned the company that built the Titanic 2.
Airplanes are big, babe. Trains are big. This is monumental.
Amy's father, who's a captain in the Coast Guard. Then we got Kim Patterson, the research scientist who discovered that if icebergs fall into the ocean, it will cause a tsunami. Amy and Hayden have some sort of romantic past.
But Hayden is living it up now because he's got a new ship. He's got 4 babes.
3 to 4 babes.
He walks in with 4 babes and then eventually they're like, wait, we gotta get rid of one of the brunettes and make 1 brunette, 1 blonde, and 1 redhead.
Which is the law when you have babes.
Really?
We're not a babes expert like Risk. You have to get one of a kind so they could be all of one guy or one of each.
The moment that you're comparing getting babes to collecting Risk cards, that's a clear sign that we're not getting babes.
That and the 2 Risk boards you have in the corner.
But one's the classic and one's the Metal Gear Solid one. That's a limited edition.
The iceberg is falling into pieces. Now the wave is heading throughout the whole ocean at 840 miles per hour.
Very fast.
Faster than the speed of sound.
It's the 800-mile-an-hour tsunami that has everyone concerned.
It's not just that the tidal waves are huge, it's that it's pushing ice.
So you have to be weary of both things.
So the ice, inevitably, as is the fate of any Titanic, crushes into it, and it is now sinking. So what's the first thing you do when a boat's sinking, Jay?
Put on my life vest. I say bye to my babes. See ya, peace, and I run. I throw them some life jackets.
Are they overboard?
No, even if they're just standing there, I imagine they still need them. We don't want them to be that one guy causing a ruckus in the hallway without a life vest. That guy's fucked. And then we go to the escape boat.
But you're not allowed on. Women only. Problem 1, half the lifeboats got destroyed. Problem 2, that tsunami is just gonna sweep them the fuck away.
And blow them up with fire, based on what we actually see in the movie. 38 minutes in, the ship is sinking. There's no, I'm the king of the world. There's no heart of the ocean. We have nothing.
That, I think, leads us to the first problem of this movie. We don't give a shit about any of the characters. There's no interesting backstory. It's only this small group out of several hundred to 1,000 people on the boat. Any of them could die. We have no idea what their names are, what they do. Nothing. Nothing of interest, nothing of intrigue. The only people we may care about is Amy, Kelly, Hayden, and Amy's dad.
But at the same time, you also don't, because Hayden is a conceited douchebag. Amy shouldn't even care about him anymore, but it is what it is.
You still got the earrings I gave you.
Well, I have a lot of earrings, so.
There's no reason for them to ever even talk in this movie, basically.
Other than a small conversation, because it seems like it's been a few years. Her heart should have gone on.
This is 2010, The Asylum. We know The Asylum is notorious for bad movies. Especially, this is before Sharknado. They were just making mockbusters to cash in on anything at this point. And the CG is god-awful. There's scenes where it's just only CG. I think the helicopter is a really great example. They had a good interior for a helicopter, and they're like, we need to show 5 seconds of the outside of the helicopter. Why even show this? Just strip that out, show the interior, and we wouldn't even thought anything.
Yeah, it was all their B-roll was CG and looked like shit. The helicopter, the boat moving in the water. What was that?
I don't know. Even when they were hanging out watching the icebergs float away, It was just fucking atrocious. It's just bad green screen. This is, I feel, reasonable green screen, but I think if we wanted to look cold, we could probably do it. It's pretty easy to do, to be honest. And I'm just a guy.
So overall, you have a movie that I just don't understand why it was made.
So this came out in 2010. The original Titanic came out in 1997. So they missed the boat, so to speak, by 3 years. If they really wanted to be like, hey, 10 years later. I guess the same thing could be said for us. Why are we talking about it now?
Oh, that's easy. When you eliminate every other movie that you want to see, you put on Titanic too.
Fair.
When you look inside the Titanic, it's not even like they tried to make it look like the old Titanic.
It looks awful. Half of it looks like an underground, I don't even know.
Yeah, like a boiler room in a warehouse.
Yes.
We're no boat experts.
Can I remind you, this is Titanic 2. This ship is equipped with state-of-the-art ice detectors that'll sound if we get within 500 yards of an ice cube.
So the thing about tsunamis, and again, no expert, but it only gets high when it's like shallower. So like when it's just going through like deep ocean, it's just like a wave moving. But like when they get shallower, it builds up because it's like pushing like, let's say like a sink, I think. And you like push it over the edge.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's the same level and then it comes up and it's high. So the movie's bullshit.
You're saying that this is not accurate to how tsunamis would work?
I mean, again, I don't want to mislead people because they might take my word as scientific fact, but I don't think it would work the exact same way that Titanic 2 claims.
And the tsunami only forms up when it gets close to land. Ships at sea should be unaffected.
Amy and Jack, they finally hook up. They didn't fuck, but you know. The ship is sinking. And they decide to go into a cabinet because they're looking for a wetsuit and some gear.
Yeah, just to wait till someone rescues them.
But we do have the moment where they are hanging out. The water is rising.
The water's gonna rise fast. The whole thing's gonna be underwater after 5 minutes.
They're just looking at each other. Here, you take the mask, you take the goggles, and I'm gonna die here in this little cabinet.
While you watch me die.
Yeah, and you just have to sit here and wait and hope that somebody comes and saves you.
Amy's dad comes to the rescue, rope in hand, dives down, finds the diving facility, finds the cabinet, frees them, drags Hayden's body back up to the surface. And I think this is my favorite part of the movie. They give him CPR over and over. And we really thought this wasn't gonna happen. He stayed dead.
Hayden, breathe! Come on!
This is the kind of movie where you're like, this guy is living.
Yeah, but he was a douche. Well, was he a douche? When shit started going down, he didn't get on his helicopter and leave. He put the injured people.
I want you to get as many injured people as you can on this chopper now!
I wouldn't say he's a hero, though.
Yeah, he's a guy with a normal moral compass.
You think he has a moral compass when he's like, hey, let's jam as many people onto this boat that I know is destined to fail?
Well, I don't think he knew it was destined to fail. Do you think if they named it something else, it wouldn't have sunk?
I think it had a better opportunity to live. I feel like don't make it look the same, don't build it the same, and don't try to make a second Titanic.
I think it's just to show the people in the past that we can do it now.
They've really cemented it now.
Yeah.
Don't trust cruise ships. Disney's going out of business.
Yeah, they have a lot more going on besides just the cruise ships. Well, I mean, cruise ships in general is just problematic. I mean, the pollution, the resource consumption, it's just bad.
Yeah, I've never done a cruise ship. I probably won't.
I might. Buffets of crab legs.
Fabulous food.
Oh boy, you can say that again.
Great Scott, Willard, what are you doing out here?
Kathy, I'm having the time of my life.
I think that Titanic 2 on every level was a bad idea. I think we all agree that.
Okay, yes.
But was Hayden really truly a dick? His actions say no.
But he seemed like a shithead.
These boats don't look any safer than the old ones.
Just for show, darling. Real bad boys are down below.
Where he was a dickhead was when he told the captain to speed up the boat to 50 knots, even though the engines weren't broken in yet.
Take her to 50 knots. I'm already pushing 40. It's not fast enough.
And that caused more issues.
Sir, we just lost engine 1.
Shut him down.
We can't stop this ship.
And then they kind of broke down and got hit by the iceberg. So it was his fault.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm not glad that several thousand people died because of him. I'm glad that we can acknowledge that he is a dickhead.
A redeemed dickhead.
Redeemed?
He sacrificed himself for Amy, and he didn't get on the helicopter.
Can't argue that.
That's the thing. Would you get on that helicopter?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
You jerk. You jerk. You are such a jerk.
Would you get on the helicopter?
I'd want to. Really, really badly. I can't see myself not getting on it, but I don't want to believe that's the type of person we are.
Are you saving me? Or are you just leaving me?
There's a helicopter. I'm standing outside the helicopter. Like, oh, Jay's behind there. You can't leave without him.
I have my neck sliced from debris.
So I go to the pilot. I'm like, how much time we got? I need to get Jay. He's like, if we don't leave in 5 minutes, we can't. It's too late. That's one option. Second option is I say, hey, you go and you take these people, these women and children. I'm staying here. Third option, I just get on and just like, probably shouldn't take any extra people in case in case there's too much waiting for the helicopter.
We're 20 minutes off the coast of New York. You can literally see the skyline through the window. So like they're not even that far. Like the Coast Guard could just come and save them, which really just puts a pin in this whole situation. It's like, we can see you. All of our phones are working because we're so close to the coast. If these tsunamis were gonna hit our boat, New York is also fucked.
Yeah, there's a much bigger problem at hand.
I can't believe it. You would probably abandon me.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's like a 25% chance that I rescue you.
Pretty good chance.
Either A, you're close by enough, we both hop on the helicopter. B, I stay behind and we both die because I didn't get on the helicopter.
You need to also factor in, like, can I physically carry this guy back to the helicopter?
Yeah, because what happens is, let's say I find you in 4 minutes, pilot's waiting another 3 minutes, you're fucking shooting blood out. Oh, well, this is even worse than just leaving you behind, because now I'm seeing you die in front of me.
Right, and then it's like, well, I got 8 minutes to really, can I fix your wound as not a doctor and carry you back? And we're on the 4th floor. The elevators aren't working based on previous knowledge. You know, to even find me is gonna be a fucking nuisance.
You got 10 minutes, I'm next to a helicopter. Like, look in, like, a pretty comfy helicopter.
Oh my god, I'm doomed. This movie, it's not good. Not a lot happens. It's very expected. It's The Asylum, come on. What do you want? I can't say that I would recommend it. So I'm gonna give this 1 credit card bandage out of 5.
Yeah, nothing here. It's just a movie that happened that was as predicted. Boat goes down, people are saved, people die. I'm gonna give this 1.5 canisters of doom out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, links are in the description. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, stay up to date with everything here on Bloodbath TV.
Well, fortunately for us, we have enough lifeboats this time.